This is Witchbase News for Friday the 28th of March 2025. I'm Commander Burr. In Elite Dangerous news this week, the Lantern Light installation makes it into Elite Dangerous lore. We've opened up a final few tickets for PitCon 2025. We go through everything we learnt on this month's Frontier Unlocked livestream and more. If you enjoy our videos, consider subscribing to the channel and remember to ping the little bell to make sure you see all our content and community posts. And if you'd like to help support our channel, links to our Patreon and everything else are in the description below. The troubled starport of Lantern Light in the system Lalande 25224, which we reported on a couple of weeks back, has managed to make it into Elite Dangerous lore along with the system's colonising architect, Commander Lavelane. In case you missed it first time around, the newly built starport of Lantern Light orbits extremely close to its parent neutron star, which is a dangerous enough place to be. That however isn't the problem and the reason it made the news. The reason Lantern Light became so suddenly well known is the speed with which it orbits the star, that speed being a hilarious and vomit inducing once every second. Once locked to the station's orbit by proximity, any approaching ship, yours included, is then also dragged around the violently spinning supergravity anomaly once every second as well. The station, whilst tracking nicely alongside you, is also trying to keep its face pointed at the star, again roughly once every second. The resultant whirlwind of flashing lights and stations is quite the sight to behold and invariably results in an explosion and a swift rebuy. This week the in-game Galnet newsfeed reported on the station's predicament, which was born of a bug in the ongoing Trailblazers colonisation beta, and reported that the Brewer Corporation would be mobilising to correct the station's orbit, even going so far as to get a nice reference from the movie Interstellar into the news piece. Not content with just turning the residents of Lantern's Light into mush, Commander Lavelane has since created another orbital installation in the same location but even closer to the star. This time it's an outpost. The results are, predictably, just as nauseating. You'll find the Galnet news piece linked below alongside Commander Lavelane's YouTube channel that is documenting their ongoing efforts to populate the galaxy's biggest tumble dryer. The months of 2025 are rocketing past us at such a terrifying rate that we are now just over 4 weeks away from this year's PitCon convention being held in Nottingham in the UK on the 26th of April. Although the convention initially sold out very quickly, we have managed to jiggle the seating and layout around ever so slightly, and as a result we've been able to open a few final tickets for anyone still wanting to join us for the day. The event will be a day-long celebration of all things Elite Dangerous and beyond, featuring community team members and developers from Frontier who will also be hosting a developer panel. You can watch live broadcasts of Witchbase News and Galnet News Digest. We're also pleased to say that the developers of Starship Simulator will be joining us, demonstrating their game from the show floor. I'm not sure whose good idea this was, but you can partake in the first ever Strictly Come Burring competition live on stage, judged by the crew from Lave Radio. We have a raffle and silent auction being held in aid of special effect, and some of the included items will honestly have your jaws on the floor. There's a free buffet lunch courtesy of Frontier, tea and coffee courtesy of Starship Simulator, and yes, yet again Commander Rini has organised a Type 9 full of crisps, snacks and biscuits for the show floor. The whole day is then topped off with a concert of Elite Dangerous themed music and song featuring Elite Dangerous musical luminaries Takoso, Heli and Alzo live on stage together for the very first time. It will really be a day to remember, and Rini and I are very much looking forward to seeing you there. You'll find the site to book your tickets linked below, along with the PitCon website, which holds all the details about the day's events, the venue and lots of other useful information. The effervescent and ever present, see what I did there, Buckyball Racing Club are kicking off a new season of challenges for the year ahead that will have started by the time you see and hear this. The frequency for the club's season of races this year is, by intention, somewhat more casual and less frenetic than in previous years, and the first of the new season, which is collectively called Yes and 3311 by the way, is being hosted by Buckyball luminary, SRV stunt driver and Lave Radio co-host Alec Turner. The race itself, which is called Time and Motion Study, is, at first sight at least, a fairly straightforward waypoint to waypoint race. However, as is so often the case with buckyball racing, there is a twist. Before starting your run, you are required to declare how long you think it will take you to complete the 4 waypoints. When you finish, the time you estimated will be the minimum time your entry will make. However, should you run over that estimate, then the amount of time you ran over will be doubled and then added to the time you estimated. For example, if you post a prediction of 18 minutes and 30 seconds but you run over by 15 seconds, then your posted time will be increased by 2 times that 15 seconds, making your best posted time 19 minutes. If however you complete the course in less than your predicted time, then the best score you can achieve will still be just your predicted time. A straightforward enough time trial, but no mean feat to win it. The race is open to run right now and runs up to and including the 7th of April. You'll find full details on the Buckyball Time and Motion Study in Alec's forum post about the race, linked below this video. It was the last Wednesday of the month this week, and that means 2 things. No more long slogs up the hill to reach the middle of the week this month, and the Frontier Unlocked live stream airs. Elite Dangerous occupied its usual slot as the last act on stage, and the headliner for the Elite section of the show was undoubtedly a pre-recorded visit from Elite's brand manager at Frontier, Zach. Amongst the things Zach was talking about on the show was the next ship coming to the game, the Gutermeyer Corsair, which we covered in our midweek video that you can find linked on screen now. The stream also featured some better views of the initial ship kit that will be available for the Corsair at launch, as well as a good look at a selection of the paint jobs that will be available for it as well. I've linked to that particular segment in the show in the description below this video, just in case you're thinking of picking yourself up a brand new Beaky Murder Raven when it launches on the 8th of April. But Gutermeyer's shiny new bird of prey wasn't the only thing Zach had to show off during his chat with Arthur. He also brought along the latest updated statistics from Commander's Trailblazer colonisation efforts, and despite some problems that the current live beta is still experiencing, which the team acknowledged during their conversation, the numbers have continued to shoot upwards regardless, even when taking into account the week-long period that the new expansions were switched off entirely. Roughly 2 weeks after Trailblazers launched, Galnet reported that there had been over 26,500 colonisation claims made. This week, Frontier is reporting that just 2 weeks after that, the number has risen to just over 42,000. The previous number for systems actually colonised was set at 13,165. That number has now risen to 23,423. Prior to this week, we knew that a little over 24,000 orbital starports and outposts had been completed. That number is now being reported as a staggering 47,821. There are now 27,227 new surface installations of one shape or another in the galaxy since Trailblazers launched. That's an increase of over 13,000 in the last 2 weeks. and all this building now equates to 1,505,765,686 units of cargo. That's more than an extra 500 million units of cargo shipped as part of the colonisation effort in the last 2 weeks alone. When last we reported on this, there were colonies reaching out from the bubble to the borders of the Coalsack Nebula, 500 plus light years from Sol. The entire nebula region now has a scattering of settlements throughout it. The Pleiades Nebula, 400 light years from the bubble, the once traditional stomping ground of the fearsome and mysterious Thargoids, which in my very early Elite Dangerous career I remember being a terrifying far off land next to the words "Here be monsters" on the map, is now absolutely awash with new human colonies, even more densely filled than the Coalsack Nebula. How you feel about the new urbanisation of the area around Sol will of course depend on how you play Elite Dangerous, and everyone's experience and opinion will likely be slightly different in that regard. For my own part, whilst the mysterious Pleiades has now been largely paved over, I do feel that, as things stand at least, it makes the Witchhead sector much more relevant, particularly with the increased jump ranges commanders now have access to. And of course, not too far beyond the Witchhead sector lies the currently permit locked regions of Barnard's Loop, and therein, at least we believe, really does lie some fearsome monsters and mysterious terrors, albeit them unreachable for the moment at least. The pace of colonisation is undoubtedly going to slow down, especially now that some nearby points of interest have been reached, and it'll be interesting to see how the system matures as the months roll on. If you're an explorer in the deep black, however, all of this will be a long way away, and even with the blistering rate of expansion we've seen up till now, I don't see it reaching you in any meaningful way anytime in the near future. How many systems have you now colonised? Are you jumping into the Buckyball events this year, and will you be going to PitCon in April? Let us know in the comments below. That's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back later this week with more videos. Until then, 07 Commanders, follow the greens on the way out and do keep clear of the toast rack. We very much look forward to seeing you next time.